Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm really proud to have this tag that says I'm speaking at the TEDx. That's way cool. And I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk with you, mostly young people. I can't see too well, but I think we have mostly young folks sitting out here. And I want to talk to you about the power of urban agriculture in a techno-culture society. And this was really brought home to me earlier this week. I am a seasoned citizen. I get all those discounts that you get when you go to the movies and to the stores and all that. And what struck me, I have a Facebook page, but I only look at it when somebody posts something up there. And it was pointed out to me that Facebook is for old people. Now I don't tweet. I don't send out any Instagram or not modalities that I use very well. And I think that many of you had the experience of leaving your phone, forgetting it somewhere, and how panicked folk get. How am I going to be in connection? But it wasn't always that way. It used to be that you need to make a phone call, that you would find a phone booth. Any of y'all know what a phone booth is? Have you ever seen one? I was at a restaurant not too long ago, and they had 2 phones right between the bathrooms, and I was shocked. I had to call my people and say, come look at this. Here were some antiques. But I think that we must reconnect. The most important connections that we have are the person-to-person connections, person-to-nature connections, and person-to-God connections. And we've lost some of that. And I think the urban agriculture is a way we can get back to that. You know, I don't think there's anything that's more important than community and the food. To sit down and have a meal with somebody, I think it's very important. In fact, I think it's the most intimate thing you can do is share food with someone. And we don't do that. We rush in, get our dinner. Somebody goes to one room to watch TV, another room to watch TV. People are all scattered around the house, and they may get together at some point during the day, but it's not sitting down together, sharing, having conversation. And I think that's a problem that I hope that we can solve some of that through urban agriculture. Did you know that in the turn of the last century, 95% of Americans lived in urban areas? 95%. Today, 81% of Americans live in metropolitan urban areas. That's a big switch. From 95 plus 81, what's that? That's a lot. That's a lot. And they predicted the world, by year 2050, the world will be 70% urban. The Chinese, we got 300 million plus people in this country. The Chinese want to move 250 million people from the countrysides into the city. That's extraordinary. Most of our population, 2/3 of the Americans moving to the cities would be extraordinary in one shot. So I think it's important. This is a picture of one of our farms, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute. Another one. Urban agriculture will bring people closer, bringing them back. This is, we're right downtown is where our site is, one of our sites, the Wheat Street Gardens. And this is a place where people are able to come and get reconnected to the soil. All wealth, all health, everything begins and ends with the soil, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And if you even think about the phones that you carry, everything in there from the oil that goes into the plastics, the strategic metals which come from Africa, all this technology we have, it begins in the soil. But we neglect that. We don't understand the importance of it. But being reconnected to the land, I have many times people come out, particularly seasoned citizens, and they say, oh, wow, what y'all are doing, that reminds me of what I did with at my grandmother's farm, working with her in the backyard at my grandfather's place. And we want to reconnect folks. And I'm going to tell you how we do that, creating jobs, education, and economic opportunities. We don't know where our food comes from. We don't know who grows our food. We don't know the quality of our food. Think about this. You know, you hear this term GMOs people talk about. That's where food scientists and soil scientists and plant scientists think they know more than God. They want to recreate these things. And no apologies to any plant scientists here. To me, GMO is God move over. We know more than God does about how to create this thing. We become fast food junkies. And through that process, we become very unhealthy, chronic diseases. You know, we live in the richest country in the entire history of the world. Think about that. The richest country in the entire history of the world, yet we have folk who are hungry, folk who are living under bridges, folks without health care, and we haven't addressed it. We don't even have the highest standard of education in this country. We're only about 80% literate. I met a gentleman yesterday here from Kerala State, which has, in India, 100% literacy. The folks in Cuba have 100% literacy. Why can't we achieve that here? And some of this we hope to remedy. Here in the city, this is a picture of Atlanta. Our farm is around the corner. It's right over here. And worse are all the children who have the adult diseases. To see children with high blood pressure, children with heart disease, children with diabetes, that's distressing to me. What can we do about it? Well, as Ms. Holly said, I've lived overseas for many years, worked in Africa, Asia, Europe, and I've seen local food economies around the world. And when I came back, before I came to Atlanta, this is our 10th year now, I was in Ghana and was doing work there in the cotton industry. So I came back here to try to transform the food system in which we live. Now, I actually got involved in this work right out of school, which was a long time ago. Most of you weren't even born then, doing urban agriculture out in San Diego. So it's very rewarding for me to be coming back to this. But we can rebuild our urban economy, replenish the environment, and I want to try and show you how we do this. This is the Wheat Street Baptist Church in this picture, on the old 4th Ward, right off of Auburn Avenue. This site that you see here, that's Chinyelu walking. This is part of our garden. Where he's standing used to be a housing project. And through our work, we transformed both people and places. There were houses here. And you'll see the raised beds in the other picture on cement slabs. And here you see our flower garden, herbs across the street. Truly Living Well, Center for Natural Urban Agriculture. That's the name of our organization. This is got a fan, thank you. This is our 10th season. We grow food. We have 5 locations around town. We do over 40,000 pounds of food each year, and we touch thousands of people through our programs, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. We are trying to create a new paradigm. We are creating a new paradigm. And here's how it looks. All these problems that I've expressed, how we are addressing them this way. We grow quality food. Food is the leverage, is the platform which we leverage our programs. But we are primarily an educational institute. We grow quality food, which we sell to restaurants, stores. Most of it goes directly in the stomachs of our consumers through our community-supported agriculture, CSA program. Okay, we have a full share, half share, senior discounted share. Folks who are on welfare, for every $1 they spend, we'll give them $2 worth of food. And if people are really hungry, they can come get it. I've had many instances, I'm hungry, Rashid, what, can I get something to eat? Take it. Just don't destroy the plants in the garden. Okay, our gates are always open, so we know that there are people who come in there and take food at night. And that's good, because we want to think abundance. We want to plan abundance, and this is what we do. So this is the new paradigm, the local food economy. We have 2, we're going to have a 3rd market this year. We have a market at East Point on Wednesdays, downtown on Fridays, where people come and they gather. And it's very nice to talk about the connections, reconnecting. People have a chance to be with one another, to hear the kinds of conversations, with mothers feeling comfortable to let their children run through the gardens, because the techniques that we employ, we use no petrochemicals in the garden at all. Okay? There's no fertilizers, pesticides. Everything is natural. We create a biodiverse and eco-diverse community, both people and the plants, interconnecting. We invite the beneficial birds and put the flowers out there. We have herbs. I got fruit trees. I got about 150 fruit trees that we've planted. I've planted about 250 all of our sites. On our farm, we do a major composting activity where we get the waste from all the restaurants and around the neighborhood, everything from the Sweet Auburn market. We bring out compost, create the compost, put that back in the soil to make into the earth to make good soil. We have an aquaponics that we do in collaboration with Georgia Tech. Aquaponics, that's where you grow fish. The water then is used to fertilize plants, which grow on top. We have a greenhouse, we got chickens, we grow worms. That's the thing I'm most excited about, is my worms. And when you come take a tour of the farm, that's the first place they're going to take you, is to see our compost and vermiculture operations, because that's where we begin, quality of the soil. When I talked years ago, my talks would be about compost, 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 compost. Any of y'all that have been around me for a while probably heard that, got tired of that speech. But now I'm talking about how we're going to build this local food economy and how we're going to be able to connect back with one another. Now the most important thing we do are our education programs. We have, we do lunch and learns, tours. We have an urban growers program. We bring people in for 3 to 6 months. They get practical. We have the finest practical education in urban agriculture. We teach people how to grow where they are using nothing more than a hoe, a rake, and a shovel. We encourage people to grow in the backyards, front yards, balconies, porches. Where there are kitchen windows, you can put some herb. Just grow something so you can get back, connect with your food, and establish horticultural literacy. So you know where your food comes from, the quality of your food. Okay? And more important, you come to our farm, you know who has grown your food. And that's very, very important. We have volunteers. I got a couple hundred volunteers out there today. We do 4,000 to 5,000 volunteer visits every year. That's 35,000 pounds of food. We've graduated over 200 people. In the past, we had 4 2-week sessions of summer camp every year. This year, I'm really excited. We're going to have 7. We're going to add 2 advanced camps for the young people who have been to our previous camps, so we can give them a little more and different experience. And most exciting, we're going to do 2 weeks of, 1 week of a camp for autistic children. I'm so excited about that because horticultural therapy is now a vocation that is recognized. And to get those children out there, the autistic children in the garden, so they can put their hands in the dirt and become grounded. You put your hands in dirt. You see somebody that's flighty. You say, well, he's not very well grounded. Come put your hands in the soil. Put your feet in the dirt. It'll make a big change in your being because of that connection back to the earth, the connection with creation, and the connection between the people. So through this process, we're able to build, what else did I miss? I guess that's many of our programs. The education program. We're in classes. We started a food co-op down in the Bedford Fine Apartments where the people now get food, fresh food from us, folk that have never had fresh greens coming out of the garden. That's what you get this time of year. And we're teaching people about how to prepare food, about seasonality, so they, again, becoming connected with each other through the community, through the co-op, and back to the earth. And all of this is part of, as I said, fresh production education programs. We create jobs. At the height, during the summertime when the camp is going on and we have a lot of folks, we have 35 people on payroll. So we're able to create jobs in the community for people who live here, right, and we participate in this local food economy where the dollars continue to spin and go back into where we are. So here are my beds. You see this? Right downtown. Got 6 acres down there in the middle of the city. And to me, that's exciting. I don't know how y'all feel, but to be able to have a place where you can drive and actually see the food being grown. You can come out and taste it. You can taste anything you see in the garden. I didn't even tell you what kind of fruit tree. We got all the vegetables that you know. I got blackberries, raspberries, I got white mulberries. Anybody ever heard or tasted a white mulberry? No. Probably wouldn't even recognize a black mulberry if you saw it. That's some things that drop on and mess the sidewalks up, stain them. Got pears, plums, peaches, pomegranates, pawpaw, persimmons, muscadines, scuppernong, blackberries, raspberries, apples, pigs, and I'm sure I missed something. We got a lot of food. And our site is for education. It's for people to be able to demonstrate to them what they have, what they can do in their own yards. And we're pleased, right downtown. You see the Sheridan? I'm sure you recognize this area. That's one part of the 6 acres that we have there. So we want to build, we are building community. We're connecting people. We're bringing people back to the earth. We're growing food. We're teaching children, which is the most important. You start with the children if you want to see some changes take place. They're the ones that you have to reach. And that's what we're doing. How do I do that? There you go. I missed it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Take care.